I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up? What is up? It's me, it's Key, and we're back. We're in the building for another episode of the 7200 podcast. And as always, I got my guy, Coach Donte. He is always here. Coach, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Let's do it. I'm ready to talk some ball.
We are one episode away from 50. Next week will be the 50th episode. You know, we're gonna have some fun with it. Probably have a call-in show. Give away some merch. We'll see what's gonna happen. That's gonna be a big show. But we are live also, as always, on the Sports Empire Network as well. So make sure you're all subscribed to the channel. The link is in the description. Coach Donte, he's on the road to 6K. So make sure you subscribe to him and me. I'm just trying to get to 500. I got 500. But yeah, we'll get there slowly but surely. But but let's get into the nitty gritty of things. Some things happened in the NFL today. Not too crazy. We got Marcus Mariota getting released in Atlanta. Did you see that coming?
No, I didn't see it coming, to be honest. I thought they were going to give him one more year, but it's just showing really good faith in how much they have in Desmond Ridder, and he's the future. He's the future of that franchise. So again, Mariota's not a starting quarterback in this league anymore. He's just no more than a fringe backup. So other than that, it's just unfortunate, but you got to see what Desmond Ridder got. You got to see what he has. And he stepped in for the time being last year, and we just got to see what he can do with a full year. But right now, Marcus Mariota being out, for the Atlanta Falcons, probably the right move to go, because you do want to show some faith in Desmond Ridder and seeing what he can do. You did draft him for a reason, so again, let's just see if he can get the job done next year, and if he can lead this Atlanta team to some victories.
So Khan said, "You down for Thursday, Coach?"
Oh hell yeah, I'm down for Thursday. That's good.
Right.
That's good that you told me ahead of time, so I won't plan nothing.
I can't say Desmond Ridder stinks. He's a rookie. We haven't really seen him yet. He played 2 to 3 games towards the end of the season. Next season he'll have a full plate underneath his belt to see what he can do. Similar to what happened with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts came in third game. 4 games towards the end of the season. And then next year he started the whole. So we'll see what's going on in Arizona. I mean, they do have Kyle Pitts. Hopefully he comes back healthy this year. They do got Drake London, who's an up-and-coming wide receiver. And don't forget about Tyler Algier. Is a good running back that they got back there. And their defense, who's the best player on the defense? It was Terrell, right?
It's AJ Terrell. You got AJ Terrell over there.
And then you got Grady over there too. So but we'll see what Atlanta does. Do they trust Desmond Ridder, or do they try to get a more experienced quarterback? The Giants finally got rid of Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay should go to jail for burglary because he was clearly stealing from the Giants. Couldn't stay on the field, didn't score not a lick, didn't catch no balls, but yet you wanted to be the highest paid receiver. I know the Giants fans is happy about this one.
Oh yeah. The Giants are definitely happy about this. If you ask for if you actually ask the whole Giant fan base, it's not a Giant fan that's not happy about this move. Matthew Stafford, he had a great quarterback, a very solid quarterback over there, and Matthew Stafford, who was making him pretty much look pretty decent over there. But again, he has not really shown since he went to the bigger market, especially the New York Giants, that he can be any capable of being really good. So Kenny Golladay is just a bust right now. $74 million at this point, and not to do nothing, not to drop a pass, and then the first year you complain about you not getting the ball. But how about you catch a down pass? How about you catch a pass when you do get it, when you do get an opportunity to catch it? Instead, that's something that has not worked out. Darius Slayton was really good this year. He was actually good for them last year. You know, he was dropping the ball a lot last year, but again, gonna have to see what they do with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones on that perspective. But it's good to see, you know, the Giants let go a non-productive Kenny Galladay.
So what do you think the Giants should do at receiver? Do they draft one? Do they try to get some in free agency? Like, what's the move on the receiver? Because who do they got? I mean, Shepard, when he's in the game, he's clutch, but he can't stay on the field to save his life.
Well, I think first of all, Shepard should consider retirement. He should strongly consider retirement because every time he gets hurt, it's a season-ending injury. So it's not an injury that you're gonna be out for at least a week or a week or a couple of days or just take time to get healed. It's a season-ending injury every time this man gets hurt. So if I was Shepard, I would consider really retiring. But other than that,
ACL injuries he done had, and foot and ankle, and God knows what else. I don't know. It's sad to say, but it reminds me of Victor Cruz.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think they should consider both free agency and the draft. You can never have too much at your position. You always want competition at whatever position it is. You also always got to have that competition. So again, I think you should get one in the free agency block or the draft.
And plus, they're getting Robinson back because he was hurt too. That rookie.
Yeah, one day Robinson.
They drafted. So we'll see what the Giants do offensively. Do they, draft a wide receiver? Do they get one in free agency? I don't know what their cap is looking like to see if they can. But definitely, Derek Carr. We do know that the Raiders released him, but he's visited so far the Jets, the Saints, and he's going to visit Carolina either during the combine or after. Where do you think overall that Derek Carr is going to go since he's visited those three teams?
I'm gonna say Derek Carr goes to the Saints. It's gonna be the Saints or the Panthers. I'm gonna say he ends up in the NFC South. One of those two teams. I think the Saints are a formidable team for him. I think they got a solid defense. Over there. They got a 1,000-yard wide receiver in Chris Olave. I think they got a lot of intriguing pieces. Depends on what they got at the running back position, though. But they got a lot of intriguing pieces for Derek Carr to throw to. Also, Carolina. I mean, you got DJ Moore you can throw to, and you also got a pretty respectable defense. And when J.C. Horn comes back, I think that can be a formidable team. So I'm gonna say he goes to the NFC South. I think the Jets are a possibility too, though. But I'm gonna say he's gonna go to the NFC South.
And they got Laviska Shenault too, another underrated wide receiver over there they can use. I mean, there's some good weapons over there in Carolina. We'll definitely see. They got Frank Reich's over there, quarterbacks coach. He can Frank Reich is good at what he does at head coach. You got Deuce Staley over there as the offensive coordinator. Finally, Deuce Staley gets some shine and recognition, and you know what he's going to do with the running backs. Chuba Hubbard's over there. So I'm liking, Carolina's chances with Derek Carr. And then even if they do get Carr, they still got a good pick in the draft. They could put another piece in that offense or that defense.
Yep.
Speaking of the Raiders wants a quarterback for a long haul. So what do the Raiders do? What pick they got? Is it 7?
Yeah, they in the top 10.
So they're in the top 10. So do you take a chance on trying to move up with the Bears? Or do you take a shot because at 10, you're not going to, I think they're 7. The top 2 quarterbacks are going to fall, whether that's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. So you're going to stuck with Will Levis and AR-15. His stock surprisingly is going up. So you got Anthony Richardson and you got Will Levis. Who do they take a chance on them to?
I'll say if they try to trade up, they're gonna have to give up an awfully lot, and it's gonna be Bryce. Whoever trades up to number 1, it's Bryce Young. Obviously, it's gonna be the Bryce Young. But again, if they stay home, I believe Will Levis or Anthony Richardson will be the pick. Those two guys are definitely going to be first round quarterbacks, but it's just a matter of which one they're going to take. So I will actually really, to be honest, take Anthony Richardson before I take Will Levis. I think he's got a good ceiling on him. Will Levis, he's 25 years old. He's already he's an older rookie. So I don't know if you don't have much time with Will Levis, but he does got some great upside. The man, it's not, garbage. He got some awesome upside, but again, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young going to be the top two quarterbacks to go off the board. Now, unless if the Colts don't move up, look out for the Colts. They can get Will Levis. And now you got Anthony Richardson, who the Raiders could take a chance on. Anthony Richardson, is a great solid quarterback, has accuracy issues, but with a little bit of a work, he can get that fixed. He has some good arm talent, and he can also run. He's a dual threat quarterback. The guy got sneaky athleticism. So again, they're gonna either go do two things. They can either move up. They move up, it's definitely gonna be Bryce Young, but if they stay down, it's gonna be definitely out of Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. And I would prefer Anthony Richardson, over Will Levis. I think he's a better quarterback than Will Levis is.
Jordan said he liked Bryce Young, but he's short. Well, look at Russell Wilson. He's short. Super Bowl champion. Drew Brees. They said he's short. He's Super Bowl champion. I know you can't see over the offensive line when you're under 6 feet, but still, you still can get the job done. Yeah, he'll go about one or two. Donte, which quarterback?
It don't matter either one. Both of them is great. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, they both great quarterbacks. It don't matter whichever one.
Donte said he don't care. He just want one. Anything is better than Davis Mills.
Like I said, I'll take if they sold on Will Levis, I'll take Will Levis. He got upside. If they sold on him, he got upside. It ain't like the man is garbage. He got some upside, but out of either one of them it's most likely the Texans will be it'll be CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. It doesn't matter whichever one. I'll take either one. It don't matter to me. They both great. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, they both great quarterbacks.
So the Bears are listed in the offers. So it's coming out that, of course, Justin Fields will be the starter going into next season. Ryan Poles already established that. But of course, they're saying, of course, being a GM, of course, he's going to look at QBs. But who would be in the sweepstakes for that first round pick? Who definitely needs a QB? Because you all know Chicago's not taking a quarterback. And if they go ahead and renege and trade Justin Fields, that's a shame. So who do you think who do you see possibly moving up on draft day?
Houston, the Colts, Tennessee, Carolina. Carolina can possibly do it. If I'm Houston, I'm not moving up one spot.
It's probably be one spot. That would be crazy.
No, but we do got MO. Like, it just depends on how they evaluate. It just depends on how they do it. You look at it. They messed up winning that game against the Indianapolis Colts, winning that game last against the Indianapolis Colts and controlling their own destiny. I wouldn't move up to get one. I wouldn't move up. I'll take either CJ Stroud. If Bryce Young is taken, I just go with CJ Stroud.
Either way, at number 2, you're going to get your quarterback.
But if they feel threatened, we don't know what we don't know what those front office are thinking. We don't know what those they could be. You know how sometimes they can be not sold on a quarterback and say, hey, we're gonna move up. We can move up. They got the Texans got the most MO to give to Chicago Bears. They got the MO to do it, but would they do it? I don't know would they do it, but at the end of the day, Houston is still in the conversation. But if I'm not, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, even though you do have the MO to do it. Whoever gets Bryce Young, whoever wants to come up and get Bryce Young, come up and get him, and we'll just take CJ Stroud. So the Colts are definitely an obvious choice. They've been talking about it all week. So Texans just not the obvious only thing. The Panthers, they can come up and get a quarterback. But it all depends on where Derek Carr goes. If Derek Carr goes to the Panthers, then they out by the quarterback situation. If the Raiders gets Jimmy G or somebody, I think they're going to be up out of the quarterback situation. So to me, it all depends on where Derek Carr is going to end up. If he's going to end up with the Panthers or the New Orleans Saints. or the Jets. It just
So it's
depends on
definitely
which.
going to be interesting because your top four is Chicago, Houston, Arizona, Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think Houston and Indianapolis the most intriguing that want to come up and get a quarterback. They want to come up and get the quarterback. So if Houston moves up, I mean, hey, that's Bryce Young. Any team that goes up, that's Bryce Young. You know they're drafting Bryce Young.
Right. And then I believe Denver is next, and then the Rams, because I think they swapped. Yeah. No, so it's the Seahawks, then the Lions at 6. Who's to say the Lions could possibly not move up, but do you think they not move on from Jared Goff, but Jared Goff didn't do well, didn't play bad last season.
I don't think they move on from Jared Goff. I don't think they're gonna go quarterback. I don't think.
And then you got Vegas at 7, and then Atlanta 8, and then Carolina's 9. So like you said, depending on where Derek Carr goes, if he goes to Carolina, Carolina's going to stay at number 9 and pick somebody who they definitely need to help out either on the defensive side or offensive side of the ball. Vegas could possibly move up if they trying to get that franchise quarterback. But again, who do they give up that number 1 pick to? You got to give up something to Chicago. So, so that's definitely going to be interesting in the next later rounds. But the combine starts this week. Make sure y'all are right here on the Sports Empire Network. And Coach Donte, he will have your combine coverage all 3 days. So
all 4 days. It's 4 days.
4 days, 3 days, one day. So he will got you covered on all of your combine needs. Of course, he's going to be taking his notes, and he's going to let you know who was impressive from each day out of the positions. All right, Coach, let's go into your list. Who's that number? Even though I already know who is number 1 on your list today, but tell the people who is number 1 on your list, and we got the coaches list, y'all.
Well, the person that you think number 1 is not number 1. So, all right. So number 5. We're gonna start with number 5. We're gonna go with Jalen Hand from Indiana. Who beat Purdue. I don't trust in Purdue basketball team. I don't think they're not going to go pretty far in the NCAA tournament. But Jalen Hood, my bad. 7 rebounds, 35 points to beat Purdue in Purdue. That's a goddamn impressive performance that Jalen Hood put up. One of the top teams in the country in Purdue with big guy Zach Edey. So again, congratulations. This is Jalen Hand's first time being on the coaches list. 35.7 rebounds to help Indiana beat to the Purdue Boilermakers. So 4th on my list, we got Brandon Miller from Alabama. That dude is really good. The dude is good. He got the little case on him, the little gun charge on him. If everything breaks well up on that, then he can be a top tier pick in the NBA draft. But Brandon Miller is really, really good, man. Y'all people need to go watch him from Alabama. That dude can fill it up. He can shoot, move without the ball. He got sneaky good athleticism. Philadelphia 76ers will pass on the type of player like that right there. That player's pretty good right there. So Brandon Miller, 41 and 8, 41 points. About Philly and they drafted him. Can we not? 41 points, 8 rebounds. They would have lost if Brandon Miller didn't play that game against South Carolina. And Brandon Miller definitely took over that game. So Brandon Miller, 41 and 8. Jalen Hood, 35 and 7. Brandon Miller's at number 4. Number 3. Sometimes I avoid putting this person on my list because she can be on the list each and every goddamn weekend. Really, actually, sometimes I just avoid putting her on the list. Caitlin Clark, 34 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. The game-winning shot was crazy. Beat number 2 Indiana. That was Indiana's second loss in conference play. That team could be in the Final Four. The Atlanta Hoosiers with Mackenzie Holmes and Chloe Moore McNeil. Those Indiana Hoosiers are really good, and Caitlin Clark, who's to say she can be in the League 8. So when that girl, the team is a spark behind Caitlin Clark. So number 2, you got Nikola Jokic. We got Nikola Jokic. You wanna know how many rebounds Nikola Jokic had, y'all? Y'all know that? Y'all want
Did he had a grown man's triple double again?
Yep. He had 17 rebounds. 17 rebounds. And then 17 rebounds, 10 assists, and 40 points in this game. Again, another grown man triple double. I'm telling you, man, a lot of fans gonna be sick if this dude win the MVP again. I'm telling you, if he win MVP again, a lot of Philadelphia gonna go fucking crazy. If he win this again. Now, Joel Embiid do deserve to win the MVP. That's being honest. Like I say, he do deserve to win the MVP. But if this dude take it again, all hell gonna break loose. So
he gonna be the only person to go 3 times in a row, a three-peat with Larry Bird and was it Will Chamberlain, I think?
Yeah. And so number 1 on the list, guess what? I lied. It's Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard.
You have to have Damian.
I know. I'm just trying to be like Shaq. I already know. When you act like someone not on Shaq and the food, you say I lied. Yeah, I lied. Damian Lillard on the list. Obviously, he's on the list. So against the Houston Rockets, who doesn't play well against the Houston Rockets, of course. But guess what? 71 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. I text on Twitter, I believe.
You said you was like, Dame gonna go for 80. And
he's gonna go for 80 points because he had 41 in the first.
He
had 41 in the first half, and I knew how hot he was. He was really hot. So when the person is hot like that, yeah, you can tell he's feeling it. He was really feeling it the whole night. So again, so 71 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds for Damian Lillard. So that is the coach's list of this weekend. Y'all tune in and see who's going to be on there next weekend. But we do got
number 1.
Yep.
Dame takes it this week, and I feel like the Portland players is like, here, Dame, you shoot. We don't want to play. Here you go. You shoot the ball. We don't want to play. I'll let you get all the points. Also, I forgot to notice that Carson Wentz did get booted, but we seen that coming. What's going on, old man? We knew Wentz was going to get cut. So who's desperate enough to take Carson Wentz? We'll find out. Yep. So yeah, we'll see who's desperate enough to take Carson Wentz. But we are going to break down the NFC East and the AFC East team needs, some questions around these teams. Each week we'll go through each division. Next week we'll do the West, so it'll be NFC West, AFC West, and then the South divisions and stuff like that. All right, so starting off with the Buffalo Bills. Now the Buffalo Bills, of course, going into this season again, everybody's very high on Josh Allen in the offense. The Bills did end up 13-3, but they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. So their team needs right now is tight end, offensive guard. They need a center, a defensive tackle, and a safety because we don't know where Jesse Bates is going to go. There's rumors Jesse Bates could go to Cleveland. Some notable free agents: linebacker Tremaine Edwards. You got Case Keenum, Jordan Poyer, and then you got Roger Scofield, who's their offensive line, part of the offensive line. Now, Donte, if you are the Buffalo Bills, do you keep Tremaine Edwards or do you keep Jordan Poyer?
I will keep Tremaine Edmonds. If I'm the Buffalo Bills. I think Tremaine Edmonds mean a lot to the Buffalo Bills. Him and Matt Milano is a pretty good duo together on the at the linebacking core. So again, I will take Tremaine Edmonds. I will sign Tremaine Edmonds before I would sign. You can always replace someone at safety. So yeah, I'm gonna say Tremaine Edmonds.
And Jordan Poyer wasn't bad either. So if they don't keep, try to get Poyer, somebody who needs a safety. I mean, I'm not saying the Eagles can go after to Poyer because I know he's gonna want some money. but it's something to put out there. Now again, their needs is tight end. I mean, Dawson Knox is a good serviceable tight end. Again, if they don't keep Poyer, I can see them maybe drafting a safety. But what needs to change in Buffalo if Buffalo wants to be successful and get over the hump and go to the Super Bowl?
Josh Allen has to play better football. He has to play better football. He has to do a better job with his passing selection. He has to stop turning the ball over in crucial situations. And they have to commit to the run game more. They don't commit to the run game a lot. They just always trying to basically use Josh Allen. They always trying to basically use Josh Allen. So, again, you can't always rely on Josh Allen without the running game. Of course, teams are going to figure that out that you want to throw. And that's what the Cincinnati Bengals definitely did, but no lack of a run game. I don't, like I say again, I don't think the running backs are bad. I really don't. I just think they don't commit to the run a lot. They don't do that a lot. So, when you don't commit to the run a lot, you come easy to game plan for. You can become easy to game plan for. So when you don't commit to the running game a lot, I think they need to commit to the run game and take some of that pressure off Josh Allen. They can run the ball. James Cook and Devin Singletary showed that they can put up some big yardage. They just don't run
as well. Like, they got a 3-headed monster back there if you really think about it.
Yeah, they just don't run the ball. They just don't do it. They just don't do it. They just
don't understand why they don't run the ball. You got good. I can see if they didn't have no running backs, then you can say. But you got 3 good running backs back there. There's no way you got Josh Allen running the ball 99 times. Reminds me of Lamar Jackson, just with a better arm. Also, Leslie Frazier, their coordinator, is taking a break. So I don't know who's going to be back there with who's going to take over the defense. We get Von Miller comes back. We'll see what this Buffalo defense has been good. It's just offensively. What is hopefully we'll see Stephon Diggs get involved more this season, because if you really think about it, Stephon Diggs had a quiet season this year. It wasn't that Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen tandem like it was last season, but he spread the ball around. You had Gabe Davis, he spread it to him. You had McKenzie, he spread it around. Got Dawson Knox involved. So I like that he spreads the ball. But Stephon Diggs is your main guy, and he was quiet. So definitely Buffalo, run the damn ball. Run the ball. Leonard Fournette did get released as well. So that's going to be interesting to see where Leonard Fournette goes. Who needs a running back? But we'll definitely talk about that when it comes down to talking about the South divisions. All right, so moving on to Miami. Miami, they were, we had the Tua issues. You got a first round pick? Hold up, I'm looking. I got the list. You know what? Miami does not have a first round pick this year. They sure enough don't. So Miami don't pick to the second round. They got hot during the regular season. They was hot, and then they cooled way off. Tua got hurt. His concussion issues, bringing Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt. Then you got Skylar Thompson. He comes in. He did what he did what he could do. But Miami finished 9-8 this year. Do you take Tua's 5th-year option?
Do I take yes? Because you can't rely on him. You can't rely on him to be healthy. So again, I don't think they will go out and get a quarterback though. I think they're still going to be highly invested in Tua, but you don't trust him. You just probably let him play this last year and see how he does. And if he does well, maybe you can work something out. But if he doesn't, you gotta look for a quarterback next year. But I think they do. I would consider doing it.
All right, and Miami's needs, they need everything. It looks like running back, corner, linebacker, tight end. They need some interior line, offensive line, some edge. So what do you think do they address in the free agency? Do they go in the draft? I know you got Mike Gesicki, who is a free agent. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to place Gesicki? Running backs, they had Mostert. He didn't do too bad. I mean, he didn't. If he stayed in Jeff Wilson, they didn't do too bad. You already got Tyreek Hill and Waddle. On the defensive side of the ball, you got Bradley Chubb. You got who else you got? Zayden Howard. So what do you what the draft needs or in the free agency? Do you see them picking up anybody or?
Yeah, I can see them do the picking up someone in free agency or the draft. Well, I think there's two positions they need to pick up. I think they definitely do need to help out that offensive line. I really do think so, and I also think they do need to get him a tight end. Michael Gesicki, I think he's going to be on the verge of leaving. So you can either, it depends on how their cap looking. You can also go out there and probably have the money to get a Dalton Schultz or something like that who's out there at the tight end market. So I think offensive line they need to address to keep two upright, and I think they do need to look at the tight end situation.
Dalton Schultz definitely is going to be good tight end wherever he goes because he wasn't bad in Dallas. So you got the Jets. Again, they started off hot. Breece Hall got hurt. Zach Wilson stinks as always. You bring in Mike White. Mike White goes down. He comes back in. Flack goes there. So the Jets do pick at number 13. I mean, they were 7 and 10. They need some offensive line, a tight end, a linebacker, and a safety. So James Robinson is a free agent. Connor McGovern is a free agent. The center, you got Flacco, Sheldon Rankins, and then you got George Fant as the offensive line. Who do they get at quarterback? If they get a quarterback, will they be a contender away?
I don't think they will be a contender. I think they will be a playoff contender. I don't think they'll be championship contenders. I think they'll be a playoff contender though. If they get a quarterback, I think that's going to be one of their needs. I think they need to figure out the quarterback situation. I think they need to figure that out. See if Derek Carr will come to them, or if Derek Carr not. Do they trust in Mike White? So I think offensive line definitely is critical. What they need, I think offensive line is definitely critical, and also I think a safety is critical. I think a safety at that back end they need help at that safety position, but. If Derek Carr goes there, then you may need to look at offensive line or a solid backup running back for the Jets.
It definitely. Breece Hall was hot before he got hurt. Garrett Wilson getting offensive rookie of the year. Of course, you got already know Sauce Gardner's back there. Their defense is up and coming. Their defense ain't bad, and they just need a cue. I think if the Jets get some pieces, they'll be fine, and especially quarterback. You definitely got to figure out. You're going to do a quarterback because we all know Zach. I don't care nobody says. Zach Wilson is not it. Zach Wilson ain't it. Point blank period. So if they can bring a Derek Carr and someone with some veteran leadership to pair him up with Garrett Wilson and some other receivers that they got, Denzel, Mims, if he decides to stay, if they don't get rid of him, but that you got to stud over there with Garrett Wilson. All right, so here's old man's team. We're not going to beat on the Patriots too bad. We got the New England Patriots. And the New England Patriots is at 14. Mac Jones. They had Matt Patricia over there who didn't really do nothing. It stunk. So they finished 8 and 9. So team needs an offensive line tackle. They need a wide receiver. They need tight end, a linebacker, and the edge. Notable free agents. You got Isaiah Wynn, Damian Harris, Miles Bryant, Jonathan Jones, and Jacoby Myers. So, Donte, two questions here. Do you re-sign Jacoby Myers? And what will the offense look like with Bill O'Brien back?
Offense will look. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Bill O'Brien being a play caller. I'm not a big fan of Bill O'Brien being a play caller. He's not the best of play caller. So I will actually not bring back Jacoby Myers. I don't think Jacoby Myers is coming back to the New England Patriots as well. I think they do need receiving help though. I think you do need to get them receive some receiving help. I think that's the first thing you need to do for Daniel Jones. I don't think Jacoby Myers come back.
Myers looking for Christian Kirk money. Oh boy.
I think they're gonna consider that he's gonna consider walking. So I do think you're gonna lose a receiver right there, but you do need help at cornerback as well. You do need a little bit more size at the cornerback position, and also you need some help at that receiver position because Devontae Parker. He didn't get it done last year. He did not get it done last year at all. He was not that good last year at all for New England. But Jacoby Myers, I don't think they're going to bring him back, and I think he wants too much for the New England to pay him. So again, I think he's going to walk. And I'll say Bill O'Brien offense ain't good at all. His offense is. I'm not a big fan of his offensive scheme at all.
Better than Matt Patricia, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's better than Matt Patricia, but his offense is not really.
Matt Patricia is in Denver as a defensive special something. But yeah, Matt Patricia's hard. Bringing D Hop, Declan Taylor, then draft LT in the draft. Jeff said they need some more help with the wide receiver room. Kyle, another resident New England Patriots here. So Myers would get priced out of New England, most likely not the strongest free agent in the wide receiver market. I mean, there is some wide receivers that's in the some names that's going to be out there in free agency. Hold on, I got a list here.
It's some names out there, but it's not the names that's that's going to kind of blow you off.
Right. I mean,
I need to get this. I need to get this guy.
You got Juju Smith-Schuster. You got Allen Lazard. Of course, OBJ is out there. Paris Campbell. Nelson Aguilar, DJ Shark, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones, Landry, N'Keal Harry's another one. Cole Hardman, Slayton, Watkins, Galladay. That list is poop. That list is horrible.
No, it's not.
That list is horrible. That list is
they are. They just not something that you just will jump in and say, hey, I'm just gonna go get it immediately.
Watch them sign Darius Slayton or Paris Campbell, OBJ or Juju Smith-Schuster. I'll take Billy O over Matty P. I think
I'll take Bill O'Brien. I'd rather take Bill O'Brien over Matt Patricia. I do that. Bill O'Brien had some success, man. He led us to some division titles, man. That's one thing I got to give Bill O'Brien. Before as him being a coordinator, I'm not too high up on that.
But the biggest gripe that Bill O'Brien still has on his resume till this day is trading DeAndre Hopkins for some pennies, for a pack of annihilators and some Skittles. That's what y'all traded DeAndre Hopkins.
That's what he traded. He traded
a Will Smith CD and a pack of candy. That's who y'all traded DeAndre Hopkins for, because that trade was ridiculous.
And DeAndre Hopkins ain't been to the playoffs since the move. So the Cardinals been, but he hasn't. He hasn't been. So so it went both ways. He hasn't been to the playoffs since the move.
What's going on, Burn? Juju's not a bad number 2. Belichick needs to give a call to Coach Donte. OBJ says he's still open for the Giants. Oh boy, I've been hearing that too. Billy O's problem is he let the power get to his head. You could also blame the Texans for that also. Bill O'Brien, the GM was bad, but he wasn't bad as a coach.
Nah, he wasn't a bad coach. See, that's what I'm saying. I agree with that. He was terrible as a GM. He wasn't a bad coach. Everybody was
trying to no way you trade
he wasn't a bad coach. He wasn't a bad coach. I just think the Houston organization, our organization did a terrible job just putting him as a GM. He shouldn't have been as a GM. He shouldn't have
traded with David Johnson, who was hurt.
Hey, that's him. He did that. That's him. He did that. Did I cry about it? Nope. Not at all.
All right, so we're going to move on into the NFC East. Can't call them the NFC East no more because all the teams was actually pretty good there. Dallas. Don't start off with the Cowboys, America's team, whatever. Dallas drafts at number 26. They was 12-5 this year. They need a corner. They need an offensive guard. You need a wide receiver, safety, defensive tackle, linebacker, and edge. Dalton Schultz is the only notable free agency. Tony Pollard, Terrence Steele, Noah Brown, and Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch is always injury prone. So, Dallas Cowboys, do they bring Zeke back? And what can they do to get over this hump to try to win some games with Dak Prescott?
I don't think you bring Zeke back. I think you just let him go. You just let him ride off in the sunset, and you have another actually okay backup running back. You have Malik Davis, who's
Davis.
really pretty good, that can shut a load with Pollard. You might have to consider picking up another one since Pollard is going to really be out. You're going to have to consider doing that. But other than that, it's going to be to keep being the same thing for us. Dallas fail every year. Just gonna, it's nothing. No matter what they do, it's just nothing. Nothing is really gonna change. Dallas is gonna always be a solid team. They're gonna always be a playoff team. They're gonna always be a fringe playoff team. They can never go anywhere. They can never go anywhere outside of the playoffs. So they're gonna be competitive. They're gonna always be good, but they're not gonna do anything to make you to say, hey, this team is a Super Bowl threat. So other than that, I think they can move on from Zeke Elliott. I think you need to consider getting another linebacker, for Leighton Vander Esch as well, since he always having concussions and being out. But I do think they need to consider getting another running back because Pollard is going to be out. He's not going to be back.
Pollard's going to be probably going to come back probably to the middle of the season.
Yeah,
so they're going to have to figure out something.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out at the running back position, whether if it's in free agency or the draft. To be honest, I may draft one, to be honest. I saw it. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now, Big Fridge. I'm looking at it on my screen. Yeah, I did just catch an interception that was roughing the passer.
Slay. But no, it's like Jeff said, it's a Jerry Jones effect. I don't know what it is about Jerry Jones that he don't want to go out and put key people around Dak Prescott for him to win. Look at what the Eagles did. Look what Howie Roseman did with Jalen Hurts. They had Devontae Smith. He knew he had to put some pieces around his quarterback to help them win. And what did he do? He went out there and got A.J. Brown. He went out there and got pieces to put them in a position. Yeah, we got to the Super Bowl. We came up short. But the simple fact is we got pieces to help the offense. Now, you just can't go out there with just CeeDee Lamb. Who else is out there? Noah Brown, who's a free agent. T.Y. Hilton, he getting older. You really going to sign Hilton back? Jerry Jones' issue is he was like, oh, yeah, we in it for the long haul. We're not going to be like the Eagles and the Rams, just getting key pieces and y'all don't want to win. 28 years, Jerry. 28 years. Think about it. That's how long it's been since Dallas been in the Super Bowl. What's going on, Travis?
What's going on, Travis? What's up, my boy?
So Jerry has to figure this out. He has to figure this out. What do you do? Because the way you're going, Dak's not going to win in a Super Bowl. Appreciate you. Thank you. Dak's not going to win if Jerry don't put him in pieces. Jerry don't put pieces in places, and if that doesn't happen, I can see Dak leaving too. Dalton Schultz is already on the market. Their defense is good. You still got Michael Parsons. You still got Diggs. It's all about Jerry and what he's going to do. Now watch. It's going to be like last year. Everybody was going off the board free agent wise. Who did Dallas get in free agency, Donte?
I don't remember who they got.
That's the thing. You don't remember.
I don't remember who they got.
Cool. Who y'all getting free agency? Cool. Cowgirls won't get anywhere with Dak at QB. Yep, at least for another 2 years. Hopefully Daniel Jones doesn't overbid himself. Jerry will talk on the offseason again about how to. Yep, it's every year with Cowboys fans. They'll win. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. We gonna win the Super Bowl. No, y'all can't even win the division first. Y'all can't even. Luckily, y'all got past the first round. Y'all got past the first round. Oh, James Washington. Oh my God, that was a big splash free agency pickup, Donte. James Washington, who we really didn't see it all last year. That's another thing with the Giants. Got to see what they're gonna do with Daniel Jones, if they're gonna bring him back, or if Daniel Jones don't come back. Where does Daniel Jones fit? So we'll see again with I totally forgot about the Daniel Jones situation with the Giants. But we'll talk about that when we get to the Giants. All right. I mean, the Dallas don't draft bad. We just gotta know gotta think about the running back situation. All right. So we're on the Eagles now. Eagles did good, go to the Super Bowl. We got pick number 30. won the division at 14-3. I'm not going down these free agent lists because it's like 19 of them, but the main ones are Devon Hargrave, James Bradbury, who is not shutting out going back to the Giants, Miles Sanders, Jason Kelsey, and Fletcher Cox. Bradbury want too much damn money, so Bradbury can go. I'm not paying Bradbury all that money for him to stay, so Bradbury's going to walk. Miles Sanders, it's possibly Miles Sanders can go because now I'm hearing that the Eagles are high on Kitty Gainwell. So we'll see what's going to happen there. Defensively, some pieces may go, some pieces may stay. Maybe CJ Gardner-Johnson, but CJ wants to be the highest paid safety. So we'll definitely see what's going to happen over in Philly. But the big key is on that offensive line, can the Eagles convince Jason Kelsey to run it back?
I think they could, but will he want to run it back? I think they can do all they could to convince him, but will he want to run it back? To try to give it one more go. But other than that, I think they have pick somebody pick the person in the draft that can come up and be a part of that offensive line. So again, I don't think the offensive line is going to be an issue. I think they're going to be very good as an offensive line. I think they're going to be still very good as an offensive line. Only thing you're going to be missing is Kels. That's the only thing. So you can really fix the offensive line. You can really fix the offensive line like that. But free agency, that's going to be key. Who would the Eagles bring back? Who would they bring back? So I like to predict who they will lose and who they want to bring back. I think they're going to find a way to want to bring back Javon Hargraves. They're going to want to try to bring back him. Bradbury, I think he's gone. Miles Sanders, I think he's gone. I think he's going to leave. CJ Gardner-Johnson, do you really want to pay him to be the highest paid safety? Do you really want to pay that money? Do you really want to pay him to be the highest paid safety like he said he would be? I have to consider that. But right now, you're going to have to get the quarterback situation done. You're going to have to get the money for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the type of quarterback that, that will take a pay cut. I think if he wants to take a pay cut, I think he's that type of guy that would do whatever it takes to help the team get better.
He already lost him. Jonathan Gannon's in Arizona. And Shane Steichen is in the Colts, but Brian Johnson did get promoted to offensive coordinator, and we got Sean Desai on the defensive coordinator. So I mean, it's going to be different. They got to pay Hurts. Don't forget that. Yeah. And also,
I also think Jalen Hurts is the type of guy that will actually take a pay cut. Will take a pay cut. I think he's the type of guy that will do that as well. But other than that, if he wants his money, you just give him his money. You pay him first before you take care of anybody else out there. Because your quarterback, you want to get your quarterback solidified first. And like I say, I think CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think he's the big key too. He's another key that I think the Eagles need to keep, but it depends on what he wants. If he wants the highest paid, if he wants to become a highest paid safety, then if I'm the Eagles, I may consider letting him go. I may consider, to be honest, that's too much. To be a highest paid safety in the National Football League, then you got to take care of Jalen Hurts, give him about $40 million. That's too much. I consider if he wants to be the highest paid safety, then I might consider letting him go and just probably drafting a safety. Just overall, probably just drafting a safety and developing.
We do have the number 10th pick as well. Yep. So that is
you can draft the corner. You can draft the corner. 10. Exactly. You can draft the corner at 10 if you want to. You can draft the corner.
Because I think we're gonna go with Reed Blankenship, who didn't do too bad as a rookie over there at safety, but we can definitely draft the corner at number 10, and I hope we do. Sean and Witherspoon over there in Illinois, but I'm not gonna say no names. But Howie Roseman, I trust. You see what Howie did last year with wheeling and dealing. Again, I'm going to take him to the dealership. We gonna negotiate a deal for me getting a new car. So yeah, I definitely believe in Howie Roseman. See what he can do over there. Let's go ahead and move on to the Giants. Giants, again, they was in the playoffs. Again, the NFC East was stacked when it came to the playoffs. And the Giants pick at number, where is it? Giants is number 25. They was 9-7-1. Giants need corner, wide receiver. They need a center. They need some offensive tackle, safety, linebacker, and defensive tackle. Of course, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley is your notable free agent. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and Julian Love. What does New York got to do? Do you sign Saquon, or would you rather have Daniel Jones?
It's tough on this one. It's a tough sequence on this one, but I'm gonna stay consistent. Like, I'm a big fan. So, like, I know Daniel Jones is not worth $35 million. To me, he's not worth that type of money. But I will always want, if the quarterback is, it depends on how great he is and how actually good. I think Daniel Jones is a solid quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I think you can definitely win with him. I think you can definitely win with Daniel Jones. He had a okay year last year. His turnovers went down. His turnovers definitely went down last year, so he done a good job in that category. So he showed some flat. So I'm always a big fan of taking care of the quarterback first, because the quarterback position, to me, outside of the offensive line, is the most important position on that football field that you need to get corrected. Sometime with a great quarterback, you can overcome an offensive line. Like a Deshaun Watson can overcome an offensive line if the offensive line ain't too good. Like Jalen Hurts, he's the type of player that you really don't need a great offensive line, because he can use his running game. His running skills are so good, he can overcome a bad offensive line. Unless you're that type of quarterback right there that can use an average offensive line, then hey, Daniel Jones is not that type of quarterback. Daniel Jones needs protection. He needs protection. He's very mobile, but I don't think he's a Jalen Hurts or someone that can really maneuver up out of the pocket as well as they can. Now, he can definitely do that. He does have a good skill set, but for me, Daniel Jones not turning the ball over, making good decisions with the football, definitely helped it out the Giants this year. And I will re-sign Daniel Jones. I don't think he's worth $35 million, but I think the Giants are going to do that. For them, I think the Giants are going to do that. And I will tag Saquon Barkley. So whoever they pay the money to, that's who they're going to tag. If they pay Saquon Barkley, then they're going to tag Daniel Jones. If they pay Jones, they're going to tag Barkley. That's how they're going to do. So I think you pay Daniel Jones first. You get him an offensive line, get him some offensive line help, and you also get him some receivers. Darius Slayton, I think he's a free agent this year. Sterling Shepard, he's always hurt. I think you should consider retirement with him.
That's Victor Cruz 2.0.
Yep. And you got Kenny Galladay, who you just released, who was a bum with the New York Giants. So you got some questions that you need to be asked at the receiver position. Rondell Robinson is coming back too. He is coming back, but you still need some help at that receiver position.
I hope Evan Neal do better this season. Good God, he was awful.
He was getting destroyed.
Oh my God, he was straight dog. He was poo. And last but not least, we got the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders failed to make the playoffs, even though they could have if Ron Rivera would have think differently. We could have had all four of the NFC East in the playoffs. They got rid of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is released. They did who they sign? Payne. They already locked up Payne. And Chase Young, I'm not sure if they're going to pick up his option or not. But I don't think Washington does not have a first round pick this year. They do not. Oh, yes, they do. Number 16. They was 8-1. They need a quarterback. They need a center, cornerback, offensive tackle, tight end, and linebacker. Darren Payne, they already locked up. Taylor Heineke, Wes Zitzer, Cole Holcomb, and then you got a Cherry Turner. Mm-hmm. And now Ron Rivera is going back saying that Sam Howell is not going to be the starter. What do they do here, Donte? And what do they do at quarterback, and how would his offense look now that Eric Bieniemy's over there?
I think they show some faith in the Sam Howell. I think they give Sam Howell actually change. I don't think they go quarterback, because I think all the quarterbacks, you said they had pick 16, right? Yeah. So all the quarterbacks will be gone by that time. All the quarterbacks, unless they do something and move up, but all the quarterbacks will actually be gone. Will be gone before they even get a chance to pick. So I don't think they're going to go quarterback. But again, I think it's an opportunity that they're going to get one in the free agency market. Again, Jimmy Garoppolo could be right there, and that's in that vicinity. I do think it's a chance that they do get one. So I think they need another corner. I think that they need another corner over there. One of their corners, I think they released him. I think it was Bobby McCain over there. So I think they go corner. I like their defensive line. It was a good job for them for solidifying Daron Payne. It was a good job for them doing that. So again, I think that I will go defense. I will go corner. I think they get the quarterback situation figured out. They gonna either go Sam Howell. They're gonna show some faith in Sam Howell, or they get a they get a quarterback at free agency, or unless they do a dramatic turn and trade up from 16.
Steelers GM wants to keep Trubisky around. The Bengals aren't trading T. Higgins, so that's going to be good there. And then the Dolphins have yet to make the call on Tua's fifth-year option. So some things to keep around. And also they come to find out that the Super Bowl's field was overwatered. You think the way they were sliding? Come on now.
Somebody could have tore an ACL up on that. Or broken ankle.
They're saying who prepared the groundskeeper who prepared and then advertised the preparation of every Super Bowl field believed the issues plagued the Super Bowl field, which could have been avoided. Oh my God. Like, he is not. So you still got a 94-year-old guy still working on NFL fields. That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's crazy. But anyway, there is your AFC and NFC needs and breakdowns. Next week, again, we'll do another division. We're going to do the West, so we're going to do the AFC West, NFC West, breakdowns, draft spots, who they're taking, what their biggest needs is, and things of that nature. So make sure y'all come on back next week to hear a breakdown of another division. Yep. Let's switch it over to the NBA. Some NBA news, some action that's going down over there in the NBA. LeBron James is going to be out 2 to 3 weeks with that foot injury. Donte, how is the Lakers going to look moving forward now?
Well, they're gonna be looking a lot different moving forward. I do like the team. I do like the team that they got. They did get better, but I still don't think it moves the needle for me. Yes, they're 4-1. Dallas, you can blame that game on Dallas. Dallas choked in that game. They gave that game away. They stopped making jump shots, but you got to credit that to Jerry Vanderbilt for how well he played on the defensive side of the ball. The guy just never really quits. I still think they do got to go. They do got to play Memphis in Memphis, but the Lakers show some sign of winning ball games. Just they can win some tough ball games, but they still got a tough schedule to be had. They still got to play most of the teams. They got to play. They have to play them. That's ahead of them. So they're still 2.5 games back. They've been like that all year. So other than that, I think it's going to be a couple of teams that will, eventually, drop out and lose a couple of games. But I think the Lakers now without LeBron James, Anthony Davis definitely needs to be the guy. If Anthony Davis definitely needs to step his game up a lot now that the LeBron James is out. This is what they got Anthony Davis for. When LeBron James is out, hey, we need you to be Anthony Davis, what you was in New Orleans. We need you to be more aggressive. And if that doesn't happen, then the Lakers can't win anything. Lakers cannot win anything. And get ready. Once the Lakers if they don't make the playoffs, get ready because of LeBron James out. Get ready for the excuse because of LeBron James is out of the lineup. So be prepared for that. But other than that, Lakers, I think they still got a shot. But it's the matter of when they're going to get in that spot because they've been down there. They've been, like I say, 13th for most part of the season. For the middle half part of the season, they have not really had gotten over that hump. And you still got some teams that you're going to play that's in the play. All of your teams, all of your games, basically, except my Rockets, they're in the playoff hunt. They're basically in the playoff hunt and trying to get into the play-in tournament as well as you trying to get. So let's see what they do from here on out. But that's definitely going to be a big loss. That's definitely going to be a big loss, losing LeBron James. Anytime you lose him, that's a big loss. And every time you have him, you have an opportunity.
So the Lakers right now are in 11th. They passed OKC.
Okay.
And then
Okay, so he lost a couple of games. They
so and then
undefeated.
Portland's ahead of them 29-31. They're 29-32. And then New Orleans got that number 10 spot. So it's Golden State, Utah, Minnesota, New Orleans. But no, yeah, like you said, Anthony Davis definitely has to play like Anthony Davis. You pray to God nothing doesn't happen to him because you know how fragile he is. You pluck him and he's hurt. So Anthony Davis got to come with it. Vanderbilt again is I wanted the Sixers to take a jab at Vanderbilt, but of course we know what Daryl Morey did. Absolutely nothing. You get Jalen McDaniels, which he hasn't played bad, but Jared Vanderbilt is very underrated. When he was with Minnesota, he get you some boards, he get you that energy. He was the main reason why that Dallas came back the way they did in that game. You got Rui Hachimura, who's playing good. Beasley's playing good. Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell. You know how this team can do. So it's going to be interesting to see what can they do without LeBron James. But Anthony Davis has to be that core piece. If that's the case, I wouldn't mind OKC getting a lottery pick. Y'all got enough damn picks. How many more lottery picks how much more do you need over there in OKC? Before expectations set in. But the Western Conference is getting heated. Eastern Conference is definitely getting hot. We still got Milwaukee and Boston go back and forth between who's first and who's second, but right now they're tied. Philly is number 3. We lost 2 games in a row. We should have beat Boston and we should have beat the Heat, but 20 turnovers can't win like that.
I told y'all that Heat series gonna be tough. I'm telling y'all.
Jimmy was
Six fans better. Hey, y'all fans better listen to what I gotta say. If the Sixers end up have to play Miami, y'all think that's gonna be an easy series? I think Miami can beat them. I'm telling y'all. Miami can beat them. I think the easiest matchup for the Sixers is actually New York. It's actually New York. I don't think they want to see Miami in that 3 versus 6. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Right now, if the playoffs ended, we would go against Brooklyn. Cleveland's 4, New York is 5, and Brooklyn 6, and then 7 is Miami, ATL, Toronto, and then you got Washington over there in the West. You got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento at 3. Phoenix at 4, Clippers, then Dallas, and then Golden State, Utah, Minnesota, and New Orleans. Yeah, you got a lot of picks. Why the hell you wanted some more to my lottery pick? Y'all got a whole bunch of picks, and capital y'all can use if y'all wanted to lose it to y'all leverage. But LiAngelo Ball, he's done for the year with an ankle injury. Is it time for Charlotte to move on from Melo?
I think it will be time for it should be the other way around. I think Melo should be moving on from them. That's what I think. I think he should be looking forward to moving on from them. Actually, really, but yeah, I don't want LaMelo waste his career. He's too good of a player, to waste your career to being in Charlotte. Now, if his dad LeVar Ball talked a lot about Lonzo not being don't want him to be in LA. How about you get your son up out of Charlotte? How about you say something to get your son up out of Charlotte? Because he's too good, to be in Charlotte. He's too good to be in Charlotte. And you don't want him to waste his career of him being that talented to be spending up in Charlotte who's been stuck in the middle of wanting to rebuild or wanting to compete because you still got Terry Rozier there. You don't want that to be happening. So again, I think it should be the other way around. I think LaMelo should move on from them. I think he should act out or trade.
Yeah, I don't, like you said, he was there for the rookie, and he's been there. It's time to move on. He can go somewhere else and be totally better on somebody else's team that's going to go further. Definitely can use his skill again. He is the better ball brother out of all of them, Lonzo included. Even though if Lonzo was still playing, I still would say Melo is the better ball brother.
Yeah, LaMelo. I mean, they both got different traits of what they're good in. I mean, LaMelo, like I say, Lonzo, I think they're on par of playmaking. They're both great at playmaking. They're both great at making their teammates better and getting their teammates open shots. Melo definitely the better ball handler. He's definitely the better shooter. He definitely is a better creating his own shot than Lonzo. Now Lonzo better defense. His shot is improved. His shot is very improved, but as far as defense, his defense is really good. Lonzo is really good, but like I say, the key, Lonzo can't stay on the court. And if you can't get out the bed, your leg hurts so bad. So when you can't get out the bed, that's a problem. That's a really problem.
The doctors are saying Lonzo Ball's knee is very interesting because nobody can figure out why he's having so much trouble. Just him walking and going up steps like that. I hope nothing major is wrong with him to where he can't play basketball no more. So I hope they can figure out this knee situation because Lonzo's a good player. You don't hear nothing bad about Lonzo off the ball, off the court as well. I mean, so Lonzo's a good player, good defensively. He fixed his shot because when he came in with LA, his shot was ugly. So he did fix that. Good defender. So hopefully, thoughts and prayers goes out to Lonzo Ball. They can figure out what's going on with his knee. Quinn Snyder gets another head coaching gig, and it's with the Hawks. They fired Nate McMillan. How do you think Snyder, thinking about Dallas. Snyder's gonna do with Atlanta.
I think that's a great move. You need someone that's gonna hold Trae Young accountable. You need someone that's gonna get in Trae Young's face. You're gonna you need someone that can help these guys develop the right way. And I think Quinn Snyder is someone who's been a part of playoff infidelity and who turned around the Jazz organization really good. And he turned that Jazz organization around. I remember the Jazz after Karl Malone them left, they was a terrible franchise. They were a mediocre franchise a little bit. Yes, they made a couple of playoff appearances with Darren Williams and stuff. But other than that, after Darren Williams then left and they went into a rebuild mode, they were actually terrible. And Quinn Snyder was one of the few coach, that kind of made that happen. But I think that's a good signing. He does preach his defense on the other side of the ball, on that side of the ball. But again, Trae Young, he has to have better shot selection. He don't shoot. That's why his efficiency is always down because it's shot selection. And he's just got to be a better shot selector. He's got to be a better shooter. He is a good shooter, but he just doesn't shoot great shots. And again, the floater is good when he gets up in the paint, but the shot selection, want to shoot it, want to be like a Steph Curry, shoot it from deep and stuff like that. He has to be a better shot selector, and he has to set the tone for the Atlanta Hawks if they want to go some places. Yeah, DeJounte Murray is there to help them, but Trae Young to me has to be the best player for the Atlanta Hawks for them to succeed.
Do you see them trading Trae Young next year?
No. I see him staying. He gonna stay. But the only it just depends. I'm gonna say it just depends on how they finish. However they finish, it just depends. And if the environment is not toxic, it just depends on how they finish.
All right. So Damian Lillard. We all know how valuable Damian Lillard is to Portland. He didn't score 71 points. I don't know. You seen that shot he shot from damn near the logo? Like he went half court and took two dribbles and pulled up, and that dribble went in with no problem. But they're saying, "Oh, Dame, is loyal. He don't want to leave Portland. He wants to win a championship with Portland." Is Dame too loyal? Or he don't want to he want to do it like Giannis, don't have the super teams. So will Portland ever put pieces around Damian Lillard?
They will try to continue to put good pieces around Damian Lillard, but I don't think the pieces were gonna be I don't think the pieces are gonna be good enough. I don't think the pieces are never gonna be good enough. Not in the Western Conference. I really don't think so. So other than that, ain't nothing wrong with loyalty, but it does get to the point when it's time to stop being too loyal. And you got to just know you deserve to go out to win a championship. You just got to know when enough is enough. I did all I could. And he gave Portland a decade, like 10 years. That's a damn decade. It's time. It's time to leave. You're not any close. Championship contender. You can argue you're not even close. You close to playoff contender and playing game. Is that what you want to be stuck around this whole time? You don't want to be stuck trying to make the play, even trying to make the play in tournament. So yeah, again, I think he is too loyal, but at the same time, you want to say, hey, I wanted to win in Portland. I helped this organization. I want to be the reason why I won the championship in Portland. And you gain more respect without teaming up with other superstars. You gain more respect for that. Like Giannis, he didn't have to go nowhere to win. But you got to give credit to the organization for what they did. Organization went out there and got him a Drew Holiday. Went out there and got him a PJ Tucker. Now they went out there and got him, Jay Crowder and helped him out. Brook Lopez finally healthy. So again, you gain more respect on wanting to stay with your own team, like Giannis did. But at the same time, Lillard, tough in the Western Conference. Your team not even close to championship contender. You're rarely fighting them to even make a playoff spot, a playing tournament. So again, to me, a decade is long enough for Damian Lillard. And I think he does need to consider and saying, hey, I want to go somewhere else, man. I want where I can just get in a great position to win an NBA championship. And it's nothing that the Portland fans could be mad about. You gave them all you could. Unfortunately, yes, you did end up making the Western Conference Finals, one time. But nobody thought that team was going to work with CJ and Dame. So other than that, I got respect for Damian Lillard, but I do think it's time for Damian Lillard to go somewhere else where he can finally solidify his legacy and win a championship. He deserves to go out there and do that.
I definitely agree with that. Just like Koo said, Bradley Beal's another one. He wants to stay in Washington. We'll see if Beal and Dame eventually be on the move.
I think it's a better chance for Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal's gonna break before Dame. I think he's going to want out before Dame. I think he's close. I think Bradley Beal is close. After this season, don't be surprised. I think Bradley Beal is close to wanting out before the Dame is.
Washington just gave him the max, though.
Yep, but I think he's going to finally get frustrated and he's going to find a way to maneuver around that man. That always happens. James Harden had a down max in Houston, and that's out. So, and that max still carries on, with Brooklyn. And kind of Philadelphia a little bit. So he had the max that we gave him, and he still moves. So he can find a way to get up out of that contract extension.
That's definitely true. All right, Kendrick Perkins said that Jokic has been stat peddling. Do you agree or disagree with him?
I disagree. with that. You really think the man's stat padding because his team is winning, or is it because he's trying to help his team win? Now, if you're in a blowout, if you're blowing a team out by 20 points or more, and then you're still in the game, and you're still getting all those stats and rebound, then I'll say you stat padding. But the game is close. The game is close. Was close. How can you consider that as stat padding if the game is close? When you're trying to do whatever you can to help your team win games. It's not like they're blowing them out by 20. And he's still in the game, and he's still getting in the game and telling the coach to keep me in so I can get my stats. No, I disagree with Kendrick Perkins. He's just trying to do whatever it takes to win a basketball game. That's all he's trying to do. And if it takes him 40 points and 100 rebounds and 20 assists, then hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. Whatever. If the game is close, if the game is not out of reach, hell yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do whatever it takes to help my team win.
100 rebounds.
100 rebounds, whatever it takes to help my team win. If the game is close, if it's 200 to 200, the game is close, I'm allowed to get every rebound if I want to. If the rebound is in my vicinity, I'm going to get that rebound. If I can get my teammates the ball while they're wide open, then I'm going to get my teammates the ball. If I can score when I have an open lane or have an open jump shot, then I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to score. As long as I'm trying to help my team win games. But if the game is close, if the game is out of hand, the coach is going to take me out. The coach is going to take me out of the game. Especially late in the fourth quarter. So no, disagree with Kendrick Perkins. I don't think that's that pattern at all. He's just trying to help his team win. And the game is close. They didn't blow out the Clippers. The game is close.
So the Eagles, they just got an update. So the Eagles submitted a request to allow players to wear number 0, like the NBA. So that'll be interesting to see number 0 on the football field. Kevin Durant, he finally gets his debut tomorrow night. Does Kevin Durant need to be a leader on the Suns?
Yes. No, not some, like, he doesn't have to, But he's gonna have. I'm just gonna say this. Like in Golden State, he didn't have to lead Golden State, but he was the best player on Golden State. So yes, Kevin Durant, every team Kevin Durant, he's got to show he's gonna be that guy. But you do got a less pressure because you got Devin Booker. And if DeAndre Ayton is on, DeAndre Ayton can be a solid player. He can be a solid player. So again, but Kevin Durant is the main piece probably that the Suns need to get over that hump. But will they? That remains to be seen. So Chris Paul is the leader of the team. Chris Paul is the focal leader of this team. Every situation Chris Paul goes in, the team gets better. He's a coach on the floor, and he's a coach in the locker room. And Chris Paul, like I said, I think Chris Paul can be a hell of a coach in the NBA one day. I think he can definitely do it. I definitely think he has the mindset to be a hell of a coach in the NBA someday. But Chris Paul is the vocal leader in that locker room. In the locker room and on the court. He's also the coach on the court as well. So Chris Paul is going to lead by example. And Kevin Durant doesn't have to worry about being a leader. That is not Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is not a leader. He's not a leader. He's not someone that's going to come in your locker room and lead a team. And that's for Chris Paul. So they already got a lead up on that team. I think Chris Paul is going to be the leader. Kevin Durant just got to worry about stepping up and playing basketball and doing what he do best.
I totally forgot Kevin Durant had 2 championships. He's looking for his third, and the Suns' ceiling on the championship is now. With that team that he got, KD, Ayton, Booker, Chris Paul, with that team right now, if that team don't win, it's the ceiling's going to be closing, because who's to say that Chris Paul may retire after this season? That's all Chris Paul is missing is a championship. That's it.
I like I said, to be honest, and I don't trust them. I don't trust the Suns. I don't trust the Suns. Like I said, I don't even got them in the got them in the Western Conference. I don't even got them making the finals, NBA finals. I don't trust the Suns at all. I don't trust them at all. But it's no excuses for them. I don't trust them at all.
Right. Are the Knicks a threat? The Knicks has been hot.
Are the Knicks a threat?
Yes.
No. They're a playoff team. They're not a threat.
So they're going to cool off?
They'll make the playoffs, but they're not a threat. You said, like, when you say threat, you said, are they a playoff threat? Are they a championship threat to anybody? No, they're not a championship threat to anybody at all. They're just a playoff team.
They are playing good right now.
Yeah, they playing good, but I don't think they're better than Bucks or Boston. Not in no 7-game series. I don't think they're better than I can borderline say I don't think they're better than 76ers, or I think they can give the Sixers a series, but I don't think they're better than top 3.
All right, and load management, is this the biggest issue that the NBA is facing right now?
I think players need to consider playing. I think coaches and they need to consider playing their players every day. You don't get paid to sit out games if you're not hurt. So I think that's definitely need to be fixed. I'm not paying my hard-earned money to go out there and see the damn water boy get up out there on the court every single time. I'm not paying my money to go out there and see third streamers and a backup point guard and a third string point guard to go out there and play. I'm paying money to see Kawhi Leonard on the floor. I'm paying money to see a Joel Embiid, James Harden on the floor. I'm paying money to see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the floor. I'm not paying to see no third string and my players sitting out, especially doing a playoff competitive drive and road. I'm not paying no money for that.
It's facts. Like Anthony Edwards said, we get paid to play the sport that we love. We get paid millions. You get paid millions to play the sport that you are in love with. Who's to say that, tickets are expensive nowadays? That hard-earned family that works and pays their bills but wants to surprise their kids or their son with that one game to see his favorite player, and that one game you paid your hard-earned money for, and your player is on the bench because he's, load managed. You don't want to play. That's a kick in the face to the fans. That is a kick in the face to the fans. They pay your half your salary, and the revenue comes to ticket sales.
Yeah.
So how do you look? You got a jam-packed house, and your stars ain't playing. It's different if you hurt. Okay, you have a legitimate injury and you can't go. But if you can play every night, play every night. This is what you signed up for. You don't see nobody load management in the NFL. you don't see nobody taking a break in the NFL. Come on.
Yep.
It's just crazy. You know, Kobe, you never saw Kobe sit out a game unless he was hurt. AI, you never seen him sit. AI was legitimately hurt and he still was on the court. So it's going to be an issue. And I know Adam Silver's going to have to step up and do something. So
yep.
He's going to have to figure out this load management crap, because I think it's ridiculous. And Kyrie Irving saying, "Oh, it's inhumane to play games back to back." You signed up to play in the NBA. 82 games you signed up for. 82 games. But you want a max contract, but you don't want to play 82 games. Come on now.
Yep.
Khan said it's not a good thing to watch the new CBA. Changes will be made. The only thing that make a change is to hurt the money for the players. Only way, hit them in their pockets. What's going on, Gene? Yeah, he said it's inhumane to play back-to-back games. Like, get out of here, Kyrie. The NBA is agreeing with the new CBA. I think it's gonna come down to it. Like, okay, well, you want this max dollars and you want this money, you got to play X and Y amount of games this season. Point blank, period.
Yep.
Like Khan said, hit them in their pockets. And in overtime. Like, why are you trying to make overtime a certain way? Because of the Kings and the Clippers, because they went to overtime and the score was like 175. That was a good ass game. Why?
That was a good game. And I was supposed to be.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I was gonna do the game that night, but I had to go to Jonathan's stream. I had to go up there. I was gonna actually do the game.
So I mean, leave the overtime the way it is. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Nobody's complaining about playing extra overtime. If it's a good game, you want to see it and don't end. But if it's a good competitive game, who cares how many overtimes it goes into? Like, that's going to be the most talked about game in NBA history. The Clippers and Kings game.
Yep. Because
of how good it was. So just leave the overtime alone. Gene said LeBron ruined the NBA. So just leave overtime the way it is. Like, NBA, get it together. Leave overtime the way it is. Make these players not load management. We're not, like Donte said, we're not getting paid to see backups. We're not paying to see backups. We want to see Kawhi Leonard out there and everything else. Like, we don't want to see no scrubs. So, but yeah, XFL. I don't know about you, Donte, but the XFL isn't half bad.
I like what I see. I like what I see in the XFL.
If you have not yet watched any XFL, I mean, it isn't bad. The rules are set up for you to come back if you're down. But it's still fun. It's still something to look at. Right now, the DC Defenders are 2-0. You got the St. Louis Battlehawks are 2-0. And your Houston team, the Roughnecks, they're 2-0 as well. Paxton Lynch is just horrible. There's no way you go to every single football league and you get benched. You got benched in the NFL. You got benched in the USFL. Now you're getting benched in the XFL. Just don't play football no more, Paxton Lynch. Yep. Just don't play football. Just don't play football no more. But no, it's a fun game. To look at XFL, I think The Rock is doing a good job so far this season with the XFL. Definitely different. The rules is funky, but still, I like that option where you got the 4th and 15 to try to keep it to get a first down. I like that. I think in the last minute, it's the last minute or 2 minutes, the clock stops when you get a first down, and then it starts back up when you get to the line. So it's made to come back. If you're down points, it's made for you to come back. You can go for 1, 2, or 3 points, not kicking the ball, but you can throw for it. So if you're down, you can get a 3-point conversion by throwing it. So I mean, that's gonna be interesting. If y'all want to check out the XFL, I know week 3 is coming up here. So week 3, we got the Sea Dragons against the Vipers. That's coming up on Saturday. And you got 3 games on Sunday. So XFL is this weekend. If y'all have not yet seen the XFL game, it's pretty interesting to get into. I think this craze is gonna. I think it's gonna be good when next season comes. So yeah, XFL is where it's at. Do you realize that the average salary of NBA is almost $8 million per year? Damn, did not know that. Sacramento did shock a lot of people this year. Shout out to Mike Brown, man, for turning that culture around that team. They traded Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk is down there. So I mean, they changed the culture. So shout out to Mike Brown and the Kings team holding down a third seed.
Yep.
All right, Donte, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of college because you know what time it is. It is college madness time. March Madness is coming up soon. It's funny because March 1st is tomorrow. So the conference games are coming. So we're gonna break down who's winning each conference, girls and guys in the major conferences. So I know it's gonna be the conference games is coming, and make sure y'all tune out for Coach because I'm sure he's gonna be doing some of those college games. And actually, the conference starts Thursday. Yep. That's when the conference playoffs and everything starts. So we're gonna break down the top divisions of who's gonna win the conferences. We're gonna start with the men's side. So let's start with the bubble. Okay. Who do you think has a shot to make the tournament that's on the bubble right now?
That's on the bubble. I'm gonna go with North Carolina. And what team's on the bubble? You got the teams that's on the bubble?
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yeah. So to watch out for, they're saying. So of course we got you in North Carolina.
Yep, I'm. Go ahead, keep reading.
We got North Carolina. So in the ACC for the bubble, you got the Virginia, Miami, and the Blue Devils. North Carolina again is in that bubble list. Got Clemson, Pittsburgh, and NC State.
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna start with North Carolina. I think they're on the bubble. I think they're on the verge of not making the tournament. For North Carolina, it's sad to see this team start number one, and this team just fall apart like the way they did. I know Armando Bangkok, one of the top centers in the country, called out the team early on in the Clemson game, and they came with fury and fire, but North Carolina hasn't really impressed at all this year. So I think they can make it, but I think they're gonna have to sneak a couple of games and possibly win the ACC. So when you look at Alabama, when you look at North Carolina's schedule, I'm gonna look at the main teams that they really played. So they lost to Alabama, who's a really, really good team. They lost to Indiana. That's a really good team. So when they lost to Virginia Tech, who's not even good, that's a terrible loss. They got blown out by Georgia Tech. They did beat Ohio State, who was number 23 at that time. So that's one quad win at that time. One of their best wins is Michigan. Their best win is Michigan. So those are two of their best wins as of right now. Pittsburgh, they lost to Pittsburgh, who's really good. Pittsburgh is a really good basketball team at this point. They got blown out by Wake Forest. They were blown out by Wake Forest. They did end up beating Notre Dame, who's not really good. They lost to Virginia. But then again, they gained it by beating Virginia again. So that was a critical win. So other than that, they're doing good right now. But even though they're thriving, I still think they got to win the ACC tournament. They got to beat Duke. They got to win the ACC tournament. And I still think they're still up on that bubble. They're still up on that bubble. I'm not been impressed with North Carolina at all. Caleb Love supposed to took another step up. He has not took a step up like that. He's not took a step up at all. RJ Davis has been solid. He's been okay. Mondo Bangkok, he's a leader of that team. They got all this talent, all these veterans on the team, and for them to have the disappointment that they showed, and for them to drop this bad, is something wrong. And Caleb Love, the point guard, has not really been good. He's so inefficient. He is so inefficient. And I don't think, to be honest, I don't think North Carolina deserved to make the tournament. Hey, Annie, that's my Annie, Kanisha Criswell. How you doing, Annie? Yep. So, but I don't think North Carolina deserved to make the tournament. I really don't think they deserve to make the tournament, to be honest, unless they win the ACC title game, because they got too many quad. They got too many quad losses, but they got so many bad, terrible losses against. against Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. Really, you gotta mix. It's a mixture of bad loss, but they did beat Clemson. Clemson, who's a good team, but again, man, there's just so many bad come with them. Yes, you're thriving at the right time. Yes, if you make it to the tournament, you can get high. Yes, but again, from what I'm seeing right now, I don't really think they deserve to make the tournament unless they win the ACC conference.
All right, so 3 on the ACC. Who is winning this conference in the ACC?
I want to go with Virginia. I want to go with Virginia to win the conference. I want to go with Virginia to win the ACC tournament. But again, Pittsburgh has been really good. As well. But I'm going to go with Virginia and Duke in the ACC championship game. And I'm going to go with Virginia winning the championship game.
Okay. All right.
I think Virginia wins the ACC tournament.
All right. So we're going to move to the Big 12. So the Big 12. So the bubble in the Big 12, we got West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. Who makes it in the bubble in the Big 10 Big 12?
Oklahoma State. But the Big 12 is the best conference, though. The Big 12 is the best conference. Even when you look at Texas Tech, you'll be like, how are they that bad? The conference is that good. You got Kansas, you got my Longhorns in that conference. You got Baylor, who's actually good. You got Iowa State, who's good. The TCU, who's really good. So don't look at the record, because we got about 7 teams that's eligible to be in the tournament right now. We got 7 teams that's in the tournament, that's qualified to be in the tournament. So the Big 12 is a brutal schedule, and I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. To probably get into that bubble range. But the Big 12 as a whole is really good.
Who wins the conference?
I'm gonna go with Kansas. All
right, cool. Says I think UNC on that bubble, they slide them in though.
Yeah, I think they get in. I think they find a way to get in. But they could get hot too. Because we seen it last year. They got hot, went to the national championship, and damn near beat Kansas. But it can happen. But if you ask Cool, he'll tell you they don't deserve to make the tournament. Really, of how they play. Me and Cool constantly talked about this. He'll tell you they don't deserve to make the tournament, actually. But they're gonna find, if they get a couple wins and find a way to sneak out a couple of games and sneak out a couple of tournament games, they can very much get in. And winning the tournament for basketball, it automatically solidifies you as a tournament team.
Yeah, definitely watch out for Jacoby Coles over there with TCU. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna move on to the Big East. So we got Providence. I think that's probably the only bubble team over there in the Big East. But then you got Marquette, you got Xavier, UConn, and Creighton. Who wins the Big East?
I'm gonna go with Marquette. I'm gonna go with Marquette to win the Big East.
All right, so you got the Big Ten. So you got Northwestern and Michigan State, Illinois, Iowa, Rutgers. And then you got Wisconsin, Michigan, and Penn State. Who's in the bubble and who wins?
I'm gonna go with Indiana to win the Big Ten. I'm gonna go with Indiana over Purdue. I'm not sold on Purdue. So I'm gonna go with Indiana with Trey Jackson Davis and Jalen Hood. I'm going to take Indiana to win the Big Ten.
Any bubbles in that division?
You talking about like dark horses or any bubbles?
Yeah. So you got Northwestern, Michigan State, Illinois, Iowa. Any of those teams get in?
I'm going to go with Northwestern.
You got over there in the Pac-12, USC is on the bubble, Arizona State, Oregon. And then they got the lock-ins of Arizona and UCLA. Who gets in the Pac-12? Who wins?
I'm gonna take Arizona to win the Pac-12. I'm gonna take Arizona to win the Pac-12. And I think Arizona State on the bubble.
All right. SEC, of course. We all know who's number one there, but they got the Texas A&M, Arkansas, Missouri, Auburn, Mississippi State. Who wins the SEC?
The SEC, I'm going to go with Alabama. Alabama's been great all year, consistent all year. I'm going to go with Alabama. Brandon Miller. He's been the best player on that team all year long. That team is really good. So I'm going to take Alabama to win the SEC conference. But don't be surprised. Kentucky is playing a little better. They can get hot at the right time, but I don't trust Kentucky at all. I don't really trust them. They did lose the first round last year. So they have some tendencies of letting you down, being a letdown. But I'm going to go with Alabama. They've been the most consistent team, in the SEC. So I'm going to take Alabama.
Thank you. About to say Alabama. I'm very excited to see this tournament. Tournament definitely going to be exciting. And you got Kentucky. Over there in the West, you think Gonzaga's going to wrap that up?
I think Gonzaga's yes. I think Gonzaga's the best team in that conference.
Let me see who else. We got San Diego State, Boise, Mountain. We got the Mountain West. I don't see too many Mountain West games on our end. They don't televise too many of those games. American tournament, you got Houston, Memphis. Those games.
Houston may be by far in that American conference the best team. Houston probably by far the best team outside of Temple. Temple was the only team that beat them, but Houston by far is the best team in the American conference.
So it is going to go down when it comes to
the closest two. Matter of fact, the closest two is Temple and Memphis. That's the closest two. If Memphis, Kendrick Davis, who's a very solid guard, I know him personally from Houston. He's from Houston. Played the little guard from Memphis, Kendrick Davis. He's really good. So I think outside shot for the win the American Conference is Temple and Memphis to beat Houston. But I think Houston is the better team in the American Conference.
Yeah, on is it Monday? No, Friday is when the conference game starts. I mean, there's gonna be some teams in here we never heard of, but that's the fun of it. Teams you ain't never see. You like, who is this?
Yeah, hey, comment. I know that dude. I know Kendrick Davis. I coached him in ANU basketball. He stayed in Houston. I know him personally. I know Kendrick Davis.
Saturday is when things go down. Hold on. I lied about when the conference game starts. It starts March 6th.
Yep, for real. Yeah,
March 6th. March 7th is when everything goes down. All the tournaments and everything. But I can't wait because this is the only really time I get into college basketball. Really.
Yep.
In March Madness time, and I say I can care less what happens in the regular season, but March Madness is where the games get good because it's one and done. Every March Madness got a Cinderella story. So I'm waiting to see who that Cinderella story is going to be. But over there on the girl side, man, woo, Lord have mercy, these girls, man. We all know South Carolina number one. We already know South Carolina is number one for real. I just had the list. So who's gonna win it for the girls in the Big Ten?
Who's gonna win it for? I'm gonna go with Indiana. I'm gonna go with Indiana to win the Big Ten conference. Chloe Moore, McNeil. I'm gonna go with her and Mackenzie Holmes. I think they get back against Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal man. If y'all ain't watched Caitlin Clark, oh man, I hear y'all, bro. That girl, you talking about the Steph Curry of college?
She the female Steph Curry.
Female Steph Curry. I'm calling it right now. She's the female Steph Curry of college, man. Shoot it anywhere. It don't even matter. It don't even matter where you at. You can tell her, hey, shoot it from the other side. Shoot it from the other end. She'll make it. She'll make it. Real talk.
She got that game winner.
I'm telling you.
That game winner.
Tell Caitlin to shoot it from Key House. She'll make it. She'll shoot it. You got that type of range. I'm telling you. She got that type of range. She got that range.
She She gonna be dangerous, and she got one more year.
And she gets triple double. She don't just shoot; she gets a triple double. That girl's a demon, bro.
Next year is when she comes out. I know all about Maddie because Nova's my squad when it comes to college. But Maddie Sirgus, man, that girl's leading the league leading the league. She's leading the nation in scoring right now. She scored that 50 points a couple weeks ago.
Hey, Con, man, I cover everything, Con, man. I cover any and everything, bro.
So you said Big 10, you got Illinois, right?
No, I got Indiana.
Big 12.
Big 12. It's kind of tough on this one, but I'm gonna go with my Lady Longhorns. Lori Harmon, Taylor Jones. I do think it's a chance that they would get upset by Oklahoma or Baylor with Sarah Andrews leading the way for Baylor. And they got a good freshman, man. They got a good freshman, Little Paige, Bugs over there. She's pretty good, man.
All right, and the Big East, Villanova.
Big East, you gotta go with Villanova. You gotta go with Villanova. Gotta go with Villanova. Villanova, the best team in the Big East.
You can't. I can't. I can see Villanova. Seeing where they go. Definitely, Maddie's going to be her draft stock is going up because I think in my mock draft for the WNBA, I think I picked her to go to your Dallas Wings. So we'll definitely see. UConn's another one. UConn definitely plays hard. I know they missing Paige blockers this season, but they got Mary. What is it? I keep messing up her name. Mary Lou. Is it Mary Lou?
Lou Sandershaw.
Yeah, Lou Sandershaw. Yeah. What about in the West?
Which West?
For the girls. Like on the West Coast, like the West teams.
Oh, you talking about the Pac-12? The Pac-12?
Yeah.
I'm going with UCLA. Kiki Rice leading the way as the point guard. And that girl that can shoot too.
Let me see here. Freaking, they got a lot of damn conferences, man. Pepperdine, Santa Clara. Nobody really watches those dang on teams. What about Atlantic 10?
Atlanta 10. Who's in Atlanta 10? Atlanta 10?
Drexel is in there. Drexel got another girl.
They got another girl. They got another girl. Kishana Washington.
Yeah, man.
She's a beast. She's definitely good. She's definitely.
Of course, Drexel. That's the Philly team. I know about that. But it looks like they're starting their conferences early too.
Mm-hmm.
They got their Big 10 championship starting on Wednesday. So you got Dayton versus VCU, Loyola Chicago versus Duquesne, St. Bonaventure versus Davidson. In St. Joe's, so we might see Drexel come out of there. So that's definitely going to be interesting to look at. SEC.
SEC. Oh, you for real?
Tennessee.
What about South Carolina?
Oh shit! I totally forgot. Of course,
you got South Carolina. That's why I said for real. You got South Carolina in the SEC.
Yeah. That's I don't even know why I even did that. Of course, Dawn Staley got them girls playing right. Leah Boston. They bench is deep, so they don't.
Leah Boston, that ain't no damn woman, bro. I'm telling y'all, that's not no woman, man.
I love you, Joanna.
Man, Leah Boston just got on a wig, and that's all she got on. That's it. Hey, that's a grown lady. That's a grown man playing ladies basketball. Right there, man. That girl gets double teamed. She drop step, move people up out of the way, and still score.
She gets triple teamed and still can find a way to win.
When her and Cardoza on the court, ain't nobody getting no rebound. You're not getting a rebound, bro. Ain't nobody gonna rebound against that.
Camilla Cardoza on the floor. You're not getting no ball.
And what's so bad about it? They don't shoot good. They're not a good shooting team. But what South Carolina do get you at is the rebounding edge. They're gonna beat you up on the boards and they're gonna play good defense. That's how South Carolina gonna beat you. That's how South Carolina actually gonna beat you. They'll make a couple shots every now and then, mid ranges. Zaya Cook probably is the best shooter on their team. When Zaya Cook is on, is it. When Zaya Cook is on, it's a done deal. When she's on, it's a done
South
deal.
Carolina is a powerhouse. Don't stay with the Eagles fan. Got them right.
Hey, yeah, somebody. I wanted to tell Key this, and somebody in the chat, if you could tell me this, have Don Staley ever wore a suit in college basketball to coach? Cause I never seen it. Long as she coached, I never seen her wore a suit.
You know, she used to. No, she used to.
But I never see her wool suit as long as I watch. I always see her wool jump sweats, and I always see her wear a shirt and some shoes, some tennis shoes.
No, she used to, because remember, they used to be real lenient. You know, they not as lenient as they is now because the NBA coaches don't even wear suits no more.
Yeah.
So, no, she did used to. She did used to though. Let me ask y'all this: what team in the NCAA, both men and women's, will be in the news for some issues or problems? Because you know what's going to happen.
Alabama is in the news for men's. I don't know too much about the girls, but Alabama.
I don't know too much about anything in the girls.
But Alabama is for the men's. You know.
He said it's just.
And UNC, it was in UNC for the men's. It was a rumor going on for the men's and ladies. It was a rumor going on, but the rumor is not true. I don't think the rumor is not true, but it was a rumor went on between the men's UNC girls and the boys. But it's a rumor. It's a case that's being discovered for Alabama with Brandon Miller. You know.
Did we go over the American? You like anybody over there in the girls in American
Conference? In the American Conference?
Like South Florida, Cincinnati, Houston.
I like South Florida. I like South Florida. South Florida is pretty good over there in the American Women's Conference. And
then we got did we do ACC? ACC for the girls. Who you got?
ACC for the girls. I was gonna go with Notre Dame, but I'm going with Virginia Tech because the only reason I'm going for Virginia Tech instead of Notre Dame because Olivia Miles is out for Notre Dame. Olivia Miles is out. She just got hurt against Louisville, who they beat Louisville. I don't know if it's a season-ending injury, something wrong. She landed awkwardly on her leg, and Olivia Miles is one of the top players in women's college basketball, top point guards in college basketball. So I'm gonna take Virginia Tech over Notre Dame. I think the Olivia Miles at point guard is a big loss for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm gonna go with
definitely they lose their top scorer. Utah topped Stanford to share first place ever in the Pac-12 title, so that is definitely going to go down. I'm excited for the women's March Madness too. But who's up and down in the power rankings for the girls? Don't forget about Maryland and who was it? Diamond Miller, and you got that guard that's pretty good too. That guard is pretty good too. Diamond Miller and that guard is pretty good too. So make sure you watch out for them. But of course, on number one, we got South Carolina 29-0. Indiana's 26-2. They're number 2. You got Utah, LSU still kicking around. That only loss was from South Carolina. Maryland, you got Stanford, Iowa, Virginia Tech, UConn. Number 10 is Notre Dame, Villanova, Texas. Like this is some good college basketball coming up on both ends, both sides, the girls and men. So I'm excited. But if you was to pick your final four right now, who would you have in both men and women's conferences right now? And pick your champ.
So I'm gonna go women. I'm gonna go South Carolina. I'm going to go Indiana. That's 2. I'm going to go UConn. I think they still find a way to get hot in the tournament and get up there. And I'm going to go Iowa. Those are my final four for the ladies. For the men's, I'm going to go Kansas. Alabama. It's tough to decide the men because it's not really has been a clear dominant team really though in men's though. It's not really been a clear dominant team though. The problem though is it's hard to predict in college because you don't know if they're gonna end up in the same bracket. See, when the bracket come out, that's how I'm gonna have to decide. But it ain't really been no dominant in men right there. It ain't really been no dominant number one because every time like Alabama can go number one, they can be beat. every time, someone like Kansas jump up, they immediately get beat. So it's not no clear dominant, number one in basketball. So, but I'm gonna answer that when the bracket come out. I'm just basically gonna answer it when the bracket come
Are
out.
you picking South Carolina to win it for the girls?
Oh yeah, man, yeah. Today can be beaten. Yeah, 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 yeah. Today can be beaten. Today can be beaten. Yeah.
I'll say it again. I don't know shit about basketball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I can't. Do you have any dark horses? Any sleepers?
Any sleepers for ladies?
Both men and women. Any
Okay,
sleepers?
the sleeper I have for the ladies is Indiana. Indiana's been great all year long. I mean, Caitlin Clark, they could be a wild card. Iowa, they could be a wild card as well. They did, and there was a last team to beat Indiana, but Chloe Moore McNeil did all she could on Caitlin Clark. It's hard to guard someone that can move without the basketball, and then dribble behind screens. It's hard to guard someone like that. They also got a good paint player in Mackenzie Holmes as well. So my wild card is Iowa, but Indiana will be the dark horse to win the NCAA Women's Championship. And of course, you cannot rule out, with UConn gonna always have a shot as long as they got the coaching. I just don't know if they had so many struggling games this year. Like they struggled against DePaul. DePaul almost beat them. They lost against St. John's. St. John's beat them. So Gino Armiyama, that team is not the same anymore. That team is now. I know they don't got Paige Beckers no more. She tore ACL in a scrimmage game, pretty much. So that's a big loss for them too. That's a definitely big loss. AZ Fudge been out as well. She's been out. So they have some injuries that they have to deal with, some key players. So for the men's, I'm gonna go with Kansas. And if Kentucky can get in, I think Kentucky can very much get hot. I don't trust Kentucky at all, but if Kentucky can get in, I think they can very much get hot. And I'm gonna go with Indiana. I think Indiana is really that good. I think Indiana's good. Purdue to me, I don't have a lot of faith in Purdue. I really don't. I think every time I pick them to go to at least a Elite Eight or to the Final Four, they get beat even before that. So I can't trust, Purdue. I rarely want to trust Kentucky, but I know when John Calipari is coaching, or if UNC can get in, they can beat somebody. They can beat a higher seed. UNC, if everything break right, if they get in, they can beat a higher seed. They got the talent, but it just hasn't been now for you to trust them that they can do it. They can definitely do it.
Definitely. One thing I forgot to say, one thing about South Carolina and Dawn Staley can be down 12-2. Does she call a timeout? Of course not. You know why she don't call a timeout? Because she believes in her team. And all she got to do is give her team the death stare. And somehow, some way, you see them dropping buckets. You see them getting rebounds. And next thing you know, the score is 12 to 10. Like they were just down 10 points. One thing about Dawn Staley, she would not call a timeout, because she got that much trust in her team to know that they're going to pull out of it. Just like in that LSU game, they was up 6-0. LSU coach called timeout quick. She was like, you are not going to get this momentum on me.
Yeah.
But there you have it, guys. That's another 7,200 seconds in the book, y'all. We had episode 49. Next week is the big show.
Yes, sir.
So make sure y'all come on through. We're going to have a call-in show. We're going to drop the link in the chat, so whoever wants to come up, hang out a little bit. We'll talk a little bit. Maybe answer some, little trivia, give y'all a chance to win some merch. Just because we love y'all and thank y'all for supporting us each and every week in the chat. Again, we are on the Sports Empire Network, so make sure y'all subscribe to that channel as well. Again, all the audio versions of the 7,200 second podcast will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. So make sure y'all follow us on there. Leave us a review. Let us know what you want to do. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you want to see more of. So again, next week, the big show, 50 episodes. Again, I started this. I was by myself. Then I stopped. I was like, I need a co-host. Again, Donte came in. Swoop. We've been a match, and we've been a click. We've been bonded ever since. But
before we end the show, you want to know who I don't want to see? I don't want to see Steven Silas. That's why I don't want to see. So, I got to throw that and put now.
Man, I want to see Doc Rivers. We the same.
You want to see. Hey, I'm gonna tell you that.
I don't want Doc Rivers.
If y'all don't want to see, Doc Rivers, who you gonna see next year if y'all find Mike.
No,
D'Antoni.
we're not gonna see Mike D'Antoni. He can stay where he at. But make sure y'all come on.
Come on, Sam Cassell, come to Houston. Come on, Sam Cassell.
Make sure y'all come on. Make sure y'all come on back. Have some fun with us next week on the 50th episode. To 50 more, the 100 show. I can only imagine things is gonna be crazy. I might actually give away some stuff, not merch. We might actually do something bigger at 100 episodes. So tune in next week, same time, same channel, for the 50th episode. Anything else you gotta say before you
man, just appreciate y'all support, man. Appreciate y'all love and the support, man. Like I say, ever since I joined up, man, me and Key been a dynamic duo 50. And the days went by fast, man. 50 episodes, fast to come. And we looking forward now. We hitting that 50 mark next weekend. We looking for that big time 100, man. So again, like I say, it's been a bond.
Maybe by the end of the year, it might be 100. Yep.
So man, we just appreciate y'all love and the support and who y'all come out. So next week is gonna be a big week for us, y'all, and for y'all in the chat to get a chance to chop it up and talk with us and stuff like that. Like he said, we gonna talk, behind the scenes, see what we should do with the 50L. So get give out merch and stuff for the 7,200 seconds and for the love and support. We might have a little trivia game, never know, but just tune in, keep tuning in, and we definitely appreciate y'all. And I definitely will see you Thursday. Man, it's just good that you asked me. So I, whatever I have planned, I won't plan nothing.
Well, you already know I'm comment producer on Thursday, so I'm always in the chat anyway. Appreciate y'all. But again, if y'all here on the Sports Empire Network, it is Tuesday nights, and that is the Big Three podcast right here. So make sure y'all tune in to Jake, Kyle, Jordan, and Dylan over there on the Big Three in 2 minutes. But we're gonna get on out of here. Love, peace, and hair grease. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And again, if you are gonna do something stupid, just make sure you do it safely. So we're gonna get out of here, guys. Peace.
See y'all later, man.
Forget it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. No, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly